The pianist Radu Lupu became another valued friend and champion. He bumped into André one day in 1970 and wondered what the big parcel was under his arm.
I had a very thick pack under his arm, and I asked him, what are you carrying here? And he said, well, this is the manuscript of a piano concerto. And I immediately jumped at it and said, I will play it. Now, the reason for it seems to me that at the time, Terry was telling me all these fascinating stories about this character, André Tchaikowsky, so that I considered that such an interesting, fascinating character couldn't possibly be writing bad music.
André was thrilled. To Helinka he wrote that Radu was quite simply the world's greatest pianist, and that's the very least one can say about him. But it took 5 years to find a suitable date. Finally, the RPO programmed it, with Uri Segal conducting, at the Royal Festival Hall. It took Radu 6 months to learn the immensely complex piece, with André accompanying on a second piano. André was worried about the orchestra learning it in the brief rehearsal time. "How much of what I have written is unplayable?" he asks in his diary, but he comforted himself with the note, "Radu plays it like a fiery angel."
The piece is in 3 movements. It starts with a slow introduction, after which the piano comes in and starts a lovely passacaglia, very lyrical passacaglia, which bears out very much the style of André's playing. Very free, reminiscent in a sense of Chopin, in a sense of Szymanowski. It develops into a great dramatic moment out of which an allegro springs. It lies pretty well, but there are a couple of passages that, simply had to be written as they are because of compositional reasons and not because of pianistic reasons. Of course, I tried to skip away with his agreement a few notes, which I did subsequently, but yes, it's a very, very difficult piece. It's not an easy piece to play.
The audience itself was star-studded. It was full of pianists, and in fact, if a bomb had dropped on the festival hall, a whole generation of pianists would have been wiped out at a stroke. The whole mood was euphoric. Afterwards, André was very, very excited. It was a terrific success. After the event, a party had been organised at Radu's house, to which many of these pianists came, and they were all very good friends. It was rather amusing because André had bought Radu a football game, and Radu, after such a tremendous performance, he was like a child, and he was just playing with this game all evening. But for the rest, it was just really a collection of very good friends who were enjoying each other's company and celebrating the success of their friend.
André's diary contains a long analysis of what he'd tried to do in the concerto, and how far he'd succeeded. He had set out to write the best piano concerto since Bartók, and he reckoned it a 90% success. Unfortunately, only Norma Fischer and André have played it since the premiere, It's André's own performance with the RTE orchestra we've been hearing. Perhaps its honest kaleidoscope of rage, anguish and terror, the reflection of a life with no calm centre, is too hard to stomach. Certainly none of this Tchaikovsky's music makes any concession to the listener. But then André was not interested in music that made concessions.